What's going on, guys? Generation here, back again with another video. Now today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over the tier list for operators in Rainbow Six Siege. Unfortunately, towards Burnt Horizon, it just stopped, so we don't have Mozzie Onward, and it's very unfortunate, so I'm just going to go with what I work with. I don't know how to fix it. If anyone knows how to fix it, leave a comment down below. So anyway, let's just get right into it. Let's start with Alibi. Alright, so Alibi, I'd probably put at maybe a C. Because she's okay for roaming, but everything else she's pretty useless because her prismas don't do too much. Yeah, her prismas really don't do too much, and for that reason she's going to be in a C. For Ash, I'm going to put her as A. Simply because she's a really good fragger. You get the R4C, which is a really good gun, but her utility isn't that great, so I'm going to keep her at A. Bandit's going to go in S tier because Bandit is one of the best utility operators in the entire game, and he has the MP7, which is an amazing gun, and I think that he should be in S tier. Blackbeard, I'm probably going to put a B, only because he has the riot shield, so he can't get headshotted, and he's just a really annoying operator to go against, which is why he's probably so good, because you can't headshot him, and he has a gun that's okay. His fully automatic gun is okay. His DMR is pretty good, so I'm going to keep him at a B tier. Blitz is going to go into C, simply just because he can flash the enemy and he's good for a rush. If you're rushing with Blitz and you flash the enemy, there's nothing they can do. It's an instant kill. With Buck, I think I'm going to go ahead and put him in either A or S. Let's just put him in A. I'm only going to put him in A because he can play vertical pretty well if he's below, but from above you can just rather grab a sledge and it'll be okay. His C8 is pretty good, so I'm going to put him in A because of that. I think Capital is very underrated. He has some good guns, and I'm going to put him in S tier because his utility is super good. He has 2 smokes and 2 flames, so if anyone's camping in the corner or behind a bomb, you can flame him out, and he can smoke for the plant. So I think I'm going to put him in S tier, and I'm just going to keep him in S tier just because I think he's one of the best operators. I'm going to put Castle probably in B tier because he has the UMP, which is an okay weapon, but he's only good on a few specific sites and for a specific role. Other than that, there's nothing he can really do. His gun's okay, he's not the best operator. I'm going to put Cavi in a C tier because I don't think that she's the best of operators, only because if you're using her pistol, unless the enemy isn't looking at you or an attacker isn't looking at you, then you're pretty much useless because a fully automatic against a pistol is not the best scenario you're going to want to be in. I'm going to put Clash at a B because if you play her well, she will be amazing, and it's very hard to push the site if you play Clash well. If you play Clash well, no one can go into the site. Her guns are pretty bad, but other than that, I'm going to keep her at a C tier. See, I really like Doc, and I want to put him on A tier, but I'm going to put him on B tier because he lost his ACOG, and that made the MP5 significantly worse. It's not as good as it used to be, I think because of the ACOG. I'm not a big fan of the 1.5 scope, so I think that's why I'm going to put him at a B. Dokkaebi, I'm going to put at a C. Her ability is pretty good. It's just the fact that she has a DMR, and it's going to be very hard to push against defenders with SMGs with that DMR, especially if your ability doesn't really help yourself as much as it helps the enemies or your teammates. Because the only way your ability would be good in a scenario would be to have it in the spot where you can where you'll be able to hear the enemy through a wall or something, or like around the corner. Other than that, she's pretty useless. Echo, I'm going to put in A tier because he has a really good primary, and I think his Echo drones are very underused. If you were to sit in a corner and wait and use his Echo drones in the last 30 seconds, he could be one of the best operators in the entire game because he can stop the plants, and it's very powerful. If you don't shoot the echo drones out early, then they're gonna be a big problem late game. I'm gonna put Ella at a B tier because her Scorpion is pretty good, and her gadget being able to pretty much blind you and slow you is very good. I don't think the Scorpion's good enough to go to A tier or S tier, and her ability is just kind of meh. I think it's a really good ability, I just don't think that it deserves A tier. I'm gonna put Finka probably at D because her ability is pretty useless. I mean, unless you have a high recoil gun, then her boost isn't really gonna help you too much. The only redeeming quality of her is maybe the fact that she can res you when you're down from across the map if she wanted to, but I don't think her guns are that good, so I'm gonna put her at D tier. I'm gonna put Frost at D tier also because she's really only good in silver below because people aren't expecting her traps. If you're gold, you should pretty much expect where the traps are gonna be, so they're pretty much useless. I'm gonna put Fuse at D tier as well because his ability is pretty much only good for vertical, and it's very rare you're gonna get a kill with Fuse in golds above because Fuse is not that good. His AK is really good, it's just that it's probably not the best option. I'm gonna put Glaz at C tier because once you get into higher ranks and you start to smoke off the objective, he can be really good at covering the planter, and I think that his gun is okay. The ability to be able to see through smoke is a really good ability. It doesn't really correlate with the Warden as much, but he's not on this tier list, so I don't have to worry about explaining it right now, but I'm gonna put Glaz at C tier. I'm gonna put Habana probably at A tier because we have so many hard breachers in the game now that it's not gonna be as useful for your team. She's only really good for hatches. The type, what is it, 81, 21 is super good. I think it's type 81. Is super good. It's just that her ability doesn't help as much as it used to, so I'm gonna keep her in A tier. Otherwise, she would be an S tier. I'm gonna put IQ at S tier because her ability to be able to find echo drones, Valk cams, and a bunch of other utility is a really good ability, especially if you're playing vertical. You can also go from below and take out the bandit wires or kaids or anything that you need to. It's a really good ability in my opinion, and the commando and her other gun, I can't even remember the name right now, I'm having a brain dead moment. The whatever the LMG is called is really good, so I think I'm gonna keep it an S tier. I'm gonna put Jackal at A tier because his ability to smell your feet, as I like to call it, is really good, and his gun is fucking perfect. It's really powerful. It does the job it needs to, and his ability to be able to sniff you out throughout the entire map is a really good ability, and I think that it's underused. I'm probably gonna put Jaeger at S tier because Jaeger is probably one of the best operators. Only because of the fact that he can take out grenades, flashbangs, and anything that's going to affect the gunfight around you, and I think that his ability is going to be really good. Also, his gun is really good. If you can use his gun and hold angles and play like a plat or a diamond with Jaeger, you're going to be really good. You're going to have a good position for yourself. I'm going to put Kaid at B tier because I don't think his guns are as good as they probably should be. His ability is super good, which is why he's going in B tier, but other than that, his ability or his guns aren't too good. I'm gonna put Capcan probably at C tier because if Capcan's abilities can really affect the outcome of a round, if they affect you late round or just even do damage throughout the round, but his guns are okay. They're not the best, and Capcan's ability isn't really the best. There's other operators you can play to help win the round. I'm gonna put Legion probably at I want to put him in A tier because first of all his gun is super good, and I think that if it doesn't need to change, it doesn't need to be nerfed, and it doesn't need to be buffed, I think it's perfect where it is. His ability to stop rushes is amazing. If he can stop rushes, then there's nothing the enemies can really do to get into sight. And especially because if you can't plant with a goo mine in your foot. So if someone were to hit a goo mine late round, they can't plant, and it's gonna be very hard for them to pull it out, especially with a defender pressuring them. I'm gonna put Lion at C tier because his ability really isn't what it used to be. It's kind of fast. It doesn't really affect the round as much. It could affect the round if you use it at a certain time, but other than that, there's nothing he can really do. A defender can still like move, and it won't really affect him too much. It'll ping him like maybe three to five times, and that's over. It's kind of like a drone. It's pinging you. It's not as big as of a threat as it used to be. I'm gonna put Maestro at probably an A tier because his ability with his drones or cameras is super good. If you can use your cameras to damage a player, then turn around on the camera so you can't destroy it, it's super good. His primary is also amazing. It's one of the best guns in the game by far. The 81 bullets topped with the damage is super good. Unfortunately, it doesn't have Zaycock anymore, but that's besides the point. It's fine. I'm gonna put Maverick probably at B tier because his guns are okay, and the flame torch isn't really the hard breach tool that everyone really wanted. He can definitely do damage towards the round, get walls open if he needs to, but other than that, he is not the greatest hard breacher. I'm gonna put Mira at probably B tier as well because her vector is really good, but she's only really good on a couple sites. Like if you use Mira on like a couple sites for laundry, for example, on Oregon, she's pretty good. Or in Party on Outback, she can change the round. But other than that, there's nothing you can really do with Mira. I'm gonna put Monty at B tier only because he's really unless you're good with him, he's kind of bad. Because if you're not good with him, you're gonna get fragged pretty easily. But if you can plant the bomb, he's a lot better. If he was, I don't know. I think B tier is a good slot for him. I don't think he should be in A tier. He's not. I don't think he's good enough for a shielder anyway. I don't think the shield should be at A tier. But yeah, I'm gonna keep him at B tier. I'm gonna put Mute at probably C tier because his mute jammers really only affect a couple drones, and once you realize they're there, you can either get around them or you just don't go through that area. Mute really doesn't affect the round too much. Yeah, you can kind of stop a hard breach, but it's pretty easy to take him out, and I don't think it'll be that big of a problem. If you misplace your mute jammer, a Twitch can come around the corner and just zap it, and it's gone forever, and there's nothing they can do. Nomad, I'm probably going to put in A tier, because in late plat, like high plat, gold maybe, if you put your air jabs around and you just cover, it's super good. Like, no one can flank you in gold into like apes, as I like to call them. People will swing you no matter what, and if you keep the nomads like on your flank, they're gonna get boosted back, and then they're either gonna run away or you're gonna end up killing them because you're gonna know where they are. I want to put Pulse at S tier because, oh yeah, I forgot to mention, Nomad's guns are pretty good as well. They're not the best, but they're not bad at all. I'm gonna keep Pulse at S tier because of the fact that his UMP is okay, but his ability to play vertical and see through walls is probably the best thing you can do. It's probably one of the best abilities in the game, maybe other than like Bandit and IQ, but other than that, he's pretty good. I'm just gonna put all the recruits in D tier because no one likes playing recruit, the worst prior in the game. I'm probably gonna put Rook in either A or no. I want to put Rook. I'm gonna put Rook in B tier along with Doc because you can get injured. I don't think it affects the bullet damage too much, but I don't think he's good enough to be in A tier. I like his MP5. The 2x scope is a good scope for him. It's just that I don't think it's a redeeming quality because his ability is pretty bad. I'm gonna put Sledge probably. I'm probably gonna put Sledge in A tier because his L85 is super good, but his ability is super good as well to be able to play vertical from above. And it's very rare you're gonna run out of your sledgehammers. if you use your sledgehammers on like above, like playing vertical, it's gonna be very very hard to play against it unless you peek and just kill the sledge because he's not paying attention. If you just play smart with sledge and play vertical, he's very good. Like I think he could be an S tier if maybe. Actually, no, I don't think he'd be an S tier because S tiers are the best. But he's almost an S tier. I was about to put him in S tier, but he's very good. I'm putting Smoke in S tier because his ability, especially if it's like 15 seconds or something. If you just hold him there, there's nothing that like they can do. If there's 15 seconds on the clock, you have two smokes, they can't enter sight because they're gonna die through the smoke. There's like nothing they can do. Him, especially against Monty or something like that, or maybe even a blitz, is super good. Especially if they're planting and you throw a smoke there, they can't finish the plant. It's gonna kill them too fast. Tachanka is going there. There's not. Tachanka doesn't deserve that. D tier. But Smoke, his shotgun and SMG-11, super good combination. He's very good for utility, and I think that he could be one of the best operators in the game if played well. Thatcher, I'm gonna put an A tier. I was gonna put him in S tier, but he just recently got nerfed, kind of, and I don't think he's as good as he used to be because he can't destroy gadgets. But I think that he's definitely not bad, and he's one of the best operators in the game. It's just that nerf didn't really do him as well. He did need a nerf though. I think he might have needed a bigger one. I'm gonna put Thermite S tier because he's definitely one of the best hard breachers in the game. I would put Ace here too, because both of them can do the same job. It's just Ace can throw more of his things at the same time. Thermite can open a breach very big, and if there isn't a bandit trigger and you use the Thatcher or a Cali for example, the wall's getting opened, and he's one of the best operators in the game. He's got a very good gun. I don't particularly like using it, but particularly I don't like using it, but I'm sure it's definitely one of the best guns in some people's eyes. This is gonna shock a lot of people, judging by Twitch's current state, but I'm gonna put Twitch in A tier because her drone is useful sometimes. But her gun, they gave her the 1.5, and she's going to start getting overpowered again. The recoil is not uncontrollable with the 1.5 like it was with the ACOG. It's not. I mean, I wouldn't even say the ACOG was uncontrollable. It's just it's a lot easier than the ACOG, but the 1.5 is very good to have with Twitch because I think she's going to get to that state again where people are going to use her more and more because of the 1.5 scope. I'm going to put Valkyrie at an S tier because Valkyrie's cameras, if you can place them around the map anywhere, there's some definitely really good spots that for your Valkyrie cams, and it's gonna be very hard for you to counter the Valkyrie unless you have an IQ, and the Valkyrie cam is gonna be really good, especially for like runouts or information wise. Just her runouts and her information in general is just perfect. Like if you use her information correctly, it can change the entire round. I'm gonna put Vigil probably an A tier because he can't get droned, and it's a very, very good ability to be able to not get droned, and his guns are very good. His K1A is probably one of the best guns in the game. The SMG-12 next to it is very good for close range, but for long range it's kind of bad. So I'm gonna put him in A tier, and his abilities very good. It can definitely get you a few picks if you're roaming. I'm gonna put Ying at probably B tier, because I don't think that she deserves to be in the A tier. Her ability to flash the room, if used correctly and doesn't have like a Jaeger or a Maya or anything, could definitely be game-changing, because you can get a lot of picks with it. You can like frag your brain off with her. I think it's one of the best operators to play, but she's definitely really a good operator. Her primary is super good. Her ability is okay. I'm going to put her at B tier. Zofia, I'm going to put at A tier. Because her ability to take out either Maestro cans with the impacts and stun you is probably one of the best abilities in the game. Her primary is good. Both the primaries are good, even the LMG. I just think just the regular assault rifle is so much better. But she's a very good operator. I think she's pretty balanced for where she is right now, and I think that she could be one of the best operators in the game if used correctly because she can destroy a lot of utility. But anyway, this is my tier list. Let me know if you agree in the comments. And thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the support lately. And like, subscribe, share. And I'll see you all later.